Hi, I'm Lauren Edmonds. I'm the founder and owner of a school that supports children with learning delays. I'm hoping this space gives you something to think about. Today, I want to talk about how we are overcomplicating parenting. It seems like it's become this massive task that's informed so greatly by a number of professional fields where words like proprioception are rolling off parents' tongues now that actually sit within the concept and the scope of an occupational therapist and their many years of training. And those words and those ideas are being filtered through into parenting. And I think parents are feeling overwhelmed. Ultimately, parents are not there to understand terms like proprioception and vestibular and regulation. They're there to parent, to connect, to raise their children. And the simplicity of that is getting lost. It's getting lost in the haves and the shouldn'ts and the musts, and it's becoming overwhelming. And that is crazy because it means parents are overwhelmed and they cannot parent, and our children are being left unparented. There are really some basic things that parents need to consider, and the rest they outsource. And it sort of goes with the flow. The basics are love and connect with your child, establish routines, help them to be healthy, food, sleep, nutrition, play, help them to gain values, your family values, and the values that the behaviors that you tolerate and don't tolerate as a family. So if you want to call every older person that you meet auntie and uncle, then that's the value you put on your child. Don't worry what everybody else is saying. Think about not what the world wants your child to be, but who you want your child to be. Go back to the core, go back to who you are, what you value, what you're trying to instill in them. And in 20 years' time, when you sit back and you watch them in the world, will you be proud? Not proud based on what a book told you to be proud of, or some group told you, or the pressure at school told you, but what would you be looking at, and how will you be proud of them? What are the things you want to see in your child that will make you sit back and go, that's my kid, and that's wonderful? And then work back to today. What do you need to be doing today that will help to build a child like that? Of course, you also want your child to be autonomous. They're a human being. They're not a mini you. But you're setting the groundwork for who they will become. Are they a person that is kind to other people or unkind to other people? Are they a person that brings friends together and connects, or do they disengage and disappear from friends? What do they do? And that's not just discount the kind of person they are. If they're a kind of person that gets overwhelmed by lots of people, that's a very different thing to connecting with friends. But if they're the kind of person that would really enjoy being around a table and eating dinner, and you never doing that, they never experience what it's like to sit around a table and have dinner and chat to people. And the starting point of that is the family unit. It's mom, it's dad, it's brother, it's sister around the dinner table, right from when they're first born almost. They experience that. And then their bodies know that experience, and then they seek that experience. If you create a home environment where you never sit around a dinner table and eat together, you never talk to your child, their body experiences that, and then they expect that, and they become that when they're older. Part of the idea of breaking this concept of generational trauma is not so severe, or not as severe as we've been thinking. All it is saying, I wish my mom and dad had done this for me. I think I'm going to do this for my child. And that could be something as simple as listen when I come with problems, or sitting around the dinner table, or being around at my school functions. So those things that you felt you wanted when you were younger, we don't want to dismiss our parents for not doing it. They were different people. They were doing their own fixing from their parents. What do you want for your child? What values do you want for your child? Do you want them to value things or people, or both? Do you want them to value a particular set of values, to a particular set of ideals, then put them in that environment in order for them to get those ideals. If children were raised in a room with nothing in it, they would come out of their childhood with nothing. You've got to put things into the room. Don't worry about these big fancy words that are actually just jargon words from a single profession. Love and connect with your child. Find the people in their environment. Find the village that's going to help them. And at the moment, the village includes your friends, includes school, and includes all the therapists that you might want to put in, as well as extramurals. If you don't take your child to extramurals, they're not going to find friends. And certainly by putting a phone in front of them is not going to do that. So, parenting is basic and simple. It's not as complicated as you think. It's not as overwhelming as you think. It starts with, what do you want for your child? And building that relationship with them. Building a relationship with them where they look to you. They don't turn to something else. When they're in trouble, they want to phone you because you've got a relationship with them. You've got a connection with them. You have instilled in them who they are. They resonate with you because you are similar. And that is so important for you to decide, what kind of child do you want to have? What kind of adult do you want them to be? And from there, what kind of parent do you need to be in order to get that? And also remember, you're a full adult, a complete adult. Parenting is one of your roles. You're also a friend to your friends. You're also an employee in your work. You're also a spiritual person in your spiritual space. You're all these people. Being a parent is not the sole thing that you are and that you do. It's one component. When it comes to your child, it's the most important component. But when it comes to your work, who you are as a parent is not important at all. So parenting is not this overwhelming, pervasive, all the time thing. It's one of the roles. And if you think about it that way, it gets compartmentalized and it becomes less about it's too much and more about, I have a child. I'm now a parent, and that's okay. One of the biggest things that I learned is you can make mistakes. In fact, you should make mistakes because that's how it goes. If you're not making mistakes, then you're actually not really parenting. You're not getting out there. I say to the kids when they get a scratch or something on the playground, and I say, that's fantastic. It means you were doing something, because you don't get a scratch by sitting here next to me. So as a parent, you don't get it wrong by stepping back and doing nothing. You get it wrong by being an active parent. Go and be an active parent. And when you get it wrong, be gentle on yourself, figure out a different way. When you know better, do better. And if it was something that you did with your child, go and repair it and say, I'm so sorry, that was not what I meant to do, or I didn't mean to hurt you. And this is how you apologize. And you role model. Role modeling a beautiful human being is more important than anything else. You've got this. You've really got this.